Gabe, defensively, what have been kind of some of the biggest issues the last two games, would you say, for you guys? Defensively, what would you say were the last couple of games are some of the biggest issues for you guys out there?
Dribble penetration, and post. Just people in the post.
Wondering off the jump when they jumped out that 13-0 lead, what's the conversation in that first time out that you took, and what did you guys do to kind of scrap back at that point?
We were just trying to chip away. We came out slow, which that's been our MO this whole season, coming out slow. So we came out slow. They had wide open looks, and yeah.
Gabe, considering that we've seen a lot of the same sort of results the last few weeks, what can you guys point to with one game left in the season to potentially try and turn this thing around at this point?
Got to come out, regroup, try to get a win on Sunday. It's senior night, so I'll try my best to go out there and get a win.
How much was Brunk on the scouting report, and what was he doing to you guys in the paint?
He wasn't even on the scouting report. I mean, he was on there. He had like 2 clips of him. He played like in the last 5 games. He played like 2-3 minutes or something like that, and hasn't scored a point. He had a phenomenal night tonight. He posted well. He had his jump hook. Made his free throws. Got rebounds. He did a good job tonight.
Any other questions?
How you doing, man? So what can you guys take from today's game leading to the Big Ten tournament coming up?
We just got to dig down. We got to start playing defense at the end of the day. The offense is the offense. I don't care if shots go in, but we got to start playing defense.
Obviously, playing for a legendary coach like Tom, there's always a high expectation. Unfortunately, it didn't go well for you guys tonight, but what's going to be the momentum going in to the next game?
Toughness, energy, and winning. I mean, at this point, I just want to win.
The turnovers again, going the other way. It seemed like, was it different tonight, or what was maybe on the 3-point arc some of the issues in closing out?
They did a good job in transition. They had a lot of open looks in transition. We didn't contest some shots in the half court, and they hit some good shots. That's about it.
Gabe, I'm just curious where I don't know if frustration is the right word, so I guess where's the mood of this team overall, considering the way the last, 4 or 5 weeks have gone? Is frustrating a good word, or how would you describe it?
I'm frustrated. For sure, I'm frustrated because I want to win as bad as anybody. And I know Coach wants to win. I know my teammates want to win, but we got to keep chipping, got to keep digging.
Have you seen him sit on a bench like that, like he did in the second half, for that long of a period of time?
Who?
Coach. He didn't seem like he was getting up and kind of getting into you guys, like with DJ and Montgomery a little bit more.
Yeah. Coach was frustrated. I mean, he's been frustrated for the past couple weeks on how we've been playing, but we got to find a way.
Anything else for you?
Give Chris and Ohio State all the credit in the world. They had some adversity, and never thought in a million years. Joey Brunk, I recruited Joey. Great kid. I know he's been through more injuries and everything, but to get 18 points and tear us up like he did, I guess you could say it's my fault for not doubling him, but boy, if you have to double him under the average 1.1 points or something like that, shame on our guys. We got off to a 16-2 start, and it never really changed. Got it back to 2, and then pretty soon back up to 10, and that's kind of where it stayed 90% of the game. We didn't get very good play out of key guys. I thought, Marcus played okay. Joey played okay, and probably Gabe and Tyson was better at the point. AJ just couldn't do the things we needed done. But I think a big key for us is two of our better players lately have been Malik and Julius, and they struggled. So hats off to Ohio State. They played well. Hats off to Brunk, and I thought the other kid that we all knew, Liddell and Malaki, are really good players. That's not what beat us. What beat us is their point guard and their center. And I thought that was the big difference in the game. Wheeler, ends up hitting 4 threes in the first half. He gets 18, and Brunk gets 18, and that was the game.
Tom, I gave this a little bit too about where the frustration level is, and if frustration really is even the right word, how would you describe it?
Anger. I'm angry with the way we played. And don't anybody write that it was about the 2 days on the road and all that, because that if we would have lost down the stretch and been fatigued, I could swallow that. But this was the start. The start beat us, not the end. And so yeah, I'm not real happy with how we played defensively. I'm not happy with our leadership right now, and we got to find a way to regroup, and that's what we're going to do.
I'm wondering that fast start they got, it looked like they were turning those turnovers, the few you had, into
Threes. Yes.
Is there
Well, they're not even a real running. They're not a running team. It was, I felt that's where AJ just looked a little slow, and Malik, we just didn't get back. Malik, falls on the ground and spends a little time there, and they come down and hit a 3. Those things are inexcusable. So, yeah, the frustration level is there, but been frustrated before.
It seemed like as of a couple of games ago, you felt your defense was still holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
What kind of changed these last year?
That's a good question. I don't have a good answer for you, but we went from one of the better defensive teams in the league in the league overall too, for probably 22 or 3 games. And now it's kind of, we shot 46 and 50 and lose by 10 or 11 points, whatever it was. That doesn't bode well between that and the 20 to 3 points off turnovers. And we had 13 of them. We had one when we just dribbled it off our foot. That was an incredible play too at the end. So you have 12 turnovers. That's not outrageous for us. And but 20 points to 3, I think tells you the job Chris did and his staff and his team.
Ohio State comes in, losers of 2 straight, disappointed. Did you sense a hungry team? And then how do you prepare a team for what could be a team that desperately needs it?
Yeah, it's, we've been there. I thought they did a great job. I would say one thing about this place. I was disappointed in their fans. I thought the way his team has played and how hard they play, this place should be rocking and packed. And so I can say that because I believe it. But for them to come out and play like they did and hit the shots they did. Liddell hit a couple of threes. He's a very good player, and thought we did a decent job on Malaki most of the way, and he got some later. But it was Brunk, and Liddell's going to hit some shots. If I really thought that, God, if I thought Wheeler was going to hit 4 threes in the first half, I'd have bet my life on it. That's no insult to him. But he did. And we weren't even doubling then. Like you said, it was the break. And so a desperate team played desperate and played very well.
I know Malik's
battled the ankle. He's had some things going, but it's 5 of 6 games. I'm wondering what you're seeing in him that's different than when he had that
Yeah.
surge in the middle of the last month.
Yeah, I'm seeing a guy that looks like he's injured or something. You know, I don't know about him, and he's getting taped up out there. I don't know. He says there's nothing wrong, but that's been an issue because he's one of our best players and doesn't seem to be playing as hard as he was playing. And I talked to him about it. He says he is. So we just have to check the film out and see.
Tom, if Ohio State, after 2 losses, is playing like a desperate team, what would you give, or what's it going to take for your team to play?
Well, we're going to play desperate too. And like I told you, the schedule has not been fun or easy. Had a lot of tough road games, and the home games were even tougher, you know, with 2 or 3 of the best teams, Wisconsin, Purdue, and Illinois in there. But no, we got to play desperate, you know. I kind of like it. I think you really find out who your people are. And I think where I did give the fans a lot of credit, I think they lifted Joey Brunk. And has gotten to the point where I think when he sat down, they cheered. When he stood up, they cheered. When he got the ball, they went ape. That was pretty cool. So that part was good.
Hey, Coach, what needs to change from the guard perspective leading to the tournament?
Well, from the guard perspective, is that what AJ, I mean, it's hard to blame him. He has been sick and has missed some time. And I really thought tonight, we didn't think that they did a good job, but in all honesty, we thought that Tyson had some chances to shoot the ball and didn't shoot it, which was the problem early in the year. In the last couple of games, he's been shooting, so I think we got to keep doing that. You know, it's just guys have done a good job on Max, and he's had some good looks tonight that he didn't hit, and then he had some tough looks. Gabe is shooting the ball better, so our guard play has got to get better. We got to get AJ back playing better, and Tyson looking for a shot.
You've had one more question. You've had a pretty consistent career as a coach. This year, it's been kind of ups and down a little bit. What do you suggest for your team to do in the Big Ten tournament to get a chance to get into the big dance?
Well, I think I've got to do a better job, to be honest with you. We don't look like a very well-coached team, and I thought Chris's team looked very well-coached. We weren't moving the ball. We were holding it. But, you know, I always look at our offense right now because I think we struggled with it a little bit. But again, you shoot 46 and 50 and lose easy. I mean, and you give up. I think the first half it was like 60 and 60, wasn't it? I've never seen those kind of numbers at Michigan State. So I give Ohio State credit, and I give us blame for that.
I wonder how you try and process that, because when there's things that, after 27 years here that you're seeing for the first time, how do you kind of try and find the way through it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I haven't had a couple tough times before. And, I look at games we've won. We've been in the schedule has made it difficult, not the games in a row, just the second half of the season schedule. And you never get a chance to catch your breath. But I don't think the way we're playing, I think our guys got to check their ticker a little bit, because sooner or later you got to reach down and guard somebody. I mean, that's not a skill. That's an effort-related stat. And I've always been able to get my teams to play harder. And right now I'm not. So that falls on me, and I'm going to have to try to fix it.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'll probably do it after.
The hot seat.
All right. Joey, what did that feel like?
Pretty damn good. If you want the honest answer, so good to go out and compete and play in front of that crowd.
When you get going like you did and you feel the crowd and you're coming off a tough loss and a losing streak, what did it take to have an effort like that and for the team collectively to kind of rally behind that and play a game like this?
I mean, we knew we needed to get back on track and go out and compete. And the sun came up today, and it's going to come up tomorrow, regardless whether we win or lose. And same thing's going to happen Sunday or Monday. So we just knew we needed to play. It was going to happen. The game was happening regardless, and we just needed to be prepared for it.
Joey, Michigan State's guys were just in here, and they were basically saying that you weren't even on the scouting report. They had like 2 clips of you. So, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that, but are you noticing that you can take advantage of some things here when they're not necessarily doubling you in the post after you're getting going?
Yeah, I mean, I feel confident getting the ball on the block, and something I've done my whole life, playing, with my back to the basket and playing confident. And in their defense, I didn't have a whole lot to show on film for them, so they probably weren't wrong and not having a whole lot. So and I don't blame them.
EJ, obviously everybody knows what you and Malaki are going to bring to this team every night. But when Joey's doing what he's doing, and then not Malaki, but Jamari hitting 4 threes in the first half, how does that help you two out when you guys can basically, does it make life easier for you two?
Of course, but I mean, I'm just happy to see everybody playing with confidence. Jamari shooting it, not hesitating. Joey getting the ball in the post and doing what he does best. And I just feel like everybody was playing with confidence today, and that was awesome to see.
EJ, does Joey give you guys buckets like that in practice, or what? Have you seen that before?
He doesn't give me buckets like that, but Zed for sure. Zed, Kyle, everybody else, yeah. I'm joking, but I can't let him catch it that deep where he will shoot a hook shot. So,
Joey, knowing that Zed and Kyle both couldn't play, I guess when did you get the word that you were going to start, and just how did you maybe try to frame your mind coming into this game, knowing they were going to have to play you more minutes than you've played in a while?
I mean, yesterday I was moved to team 1, but I mean, nothing. It really wasn't like hey, you're starting. It wasn't like we sat down in a conference room and they broke the news to me. But I just want to be prepared for whatever opportunity happened. And, that's why you stay ready and do the extra stuff. So if an opportunity comes, you're prepared for it.
Joey, on Tuesday, Hunter Dickinson pretty much torched Michigan State. Did you look at the film and see hey, I can kind of do stuff like this with my footwork? I kind of have a similar frame. I can kind of pull this stuff off.
I mean, we watched some of their film, but it wasn't as much of, hey, I want to, I just wanted to play my game and do what I felt confident doing in the flow of the game. We saw the film, but it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to do this X, Y, Z. It was just whatever the flow of the game provided.
We were talking with Tom Izzo, and he mentioned that he thought the fans gave you a lift. Being that this is your first year at Ohio State, how did you feel the Buckeye Nut House and the rest of the fans in the shot supported you tonight?
It was great. I mean, since I've been 15 or 16 years old, I've always kind of been a spaz and played with emotion. That's just kind of been who I am. I think that wouldn't take a whole lot of looking up to see me yelling and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely play with passion. I feed off the crowd, and that's just part of me.
DJ, Tom also mentioned that it wasn't the end that beat us, it was the start. Just what was clicking there at the start of the game to get out to such a big lead and make all 5 of the first shots?
I just felt like we had a lot of energy today. I feel like we played together. Like Coach was telling us, trust the pass, making one more passes, hitting the open guy, and just being confident in yourself and shooting the ball. And we were open. We were just knocking them down, just playing hard, getting to our spots. So,
Hey, Joey. Looks like you went from Southport to Portland to Butler to Indiana. How does playing for Ohio State and playing for a coach that used to coach your former team and also playing against the gentleman sitting next to you over here, Mr. Liddell, how does that build your confidence tonight Because obviously everybody's talking about you. What you did was outstanding. But how were you able to compose yourself and focus on what needed to be done tonight?
I mean, I think the nice part about playing with the guys here and playing for our coaching staff is there's a familiarity there of like playing against them, knowing them, and all that. So there's a familiarity which just kind of makes the transition easier. But I mean, throughout the game, it was like, hey, the job's not finished, and the goal is to win the game. It really doesn't matter whatever EJ or I score. We're just trying to win. So I really wasn't too wrapped up in that.
So, Joey, until tonight, how had the reality of this year matched your expectation of how you'd be used in the minutes you'd get this year? Because you had 1 year left. You could have gone anywhere. I'm sure you evaluated a lot of places. I'm sure coach's relationship with you out of high school entered into you coming here. But how did the reality up to tonight match to the expectations?
Yeah, I mean, the reality was I wanted to play on a team that was going to win and contend for a Big Ten championship, and that those goals are still out there for us. So I mean, yeah, it was just kind of part of it. And yeah, there's basketball. There's ups and downs that are with it, but you're not allowed to. Your emotion never, trumps winning. At the end of the day, winning is number one priority, 1A. Everything else takes a back seat. So, I want to stay ready and be prepared for whatever opportunity came and enjoy this last year, regardless of whatever that looks like.
So, Joey, you had a whole bunch of dazzling moves today. What was going through your mind when you got the ball in the post?
Go to work. That was kind of the main thought of when I caught it was go to work.
Okay, great. You did just that, so.
Actual name for any of your post moves?
No, I don't really have a name for anything. I like to shoot my left hand hook, my right hand hook, whatever is there.
What was your favorite moment of the game tonight? Was it the dunk at the end there, and how did you feel when that happened?
My favorite moment was when the clock ran out and we were celebrating as a team. That was my favorite moment.
He was lying. It was definitely the dunk. Malachi's was probably my favorite moment. Joey's was a close second. So
I don't think I've had any game dunk in over probably 2 years, so it's been a little while since that's happened.
EJ, you guys were tired, it looked like, the other night, 2 straight losses. You started that game well. To come out, start this game well, but to sustain it, what did that take effort-wise, given the schedule that you guys have been under?
I just felt like we played. I've been saying this a lot, but I just felt like we played with confidence, honestly. Joey made a great point. After our last game, we had sat down and talked. Everybody just gave out their thoughts, and Joey was like, it's not like the season's over. We still have a lot to play for. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, so we just had to leave that in the past and just learn from that, those 2 games. And we came out here and played with a lot of energy today, played very connected. Guys on the bench were very involved, and I just felt like we came out here and competed. So.
Connectedness was something that your coach was mentioning after the Nebraska game, and I'm wondering, over the course of the last 48 hours, what does that look like in terms of creating an atmosphere or creating an offense that's connected as opposed to what you guys did, I guess, 48 hours ago?
I mean, all that stuff happens off the court. I mean, I trust everybody who's on the court at that time. And if a guy comes in off the bench, I mean, everybody has those big moments like Joey came in today. I trust him because I see the works he put in after practice, before practice, and just having confidence in each other when it comes to off the court, trusting them, knowing they're doing the right thing, and putting the work in to be good. So,
and I mean, we know Jamari as kind of a guy that, has the ability to step up offensively, and as a guy who's kind of known for his defense, came in known as for his defense. But what did he bring? I mean, tonight, it seemed like the 4 of you, whether it was you guys, Malaki, and Jamari, kind of were this team tonight, and you guys kind of led together. What did he show?
He shot the ball. Like, I'm just happy he shot the ball, didn't hesitate, and just stepped into it and shot it. I feel like when he hesitates or thinks about it and doubts himself a little bit, it's not going to go in. But when he just steps up and shoots the ball, I think it's good most of the time, besides the one air ball he shot. But, yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Obviously, good win for our team over a good Michigan State team that I've got a tremendous amount of respect for their team and obviously their program. I would like to say this. When you get into a league, it can be pretty obviously competitive and pretty combative, and guys can get isolated. But Tom has been an unbelievable friend, resource, mentor, whatever you want to call, to me. He really has. And I've called him on a number of occasions and ask his advice on things and tried to pick his brain. And we were even texting last night after we both lost, back and forth while they were on the bus. So there's just, I just really appreciate that from a guy who's a Hall of Famer, who's one of the best to ever do it. And he is, he's one of the best to ever do it. So I just wanted to, publicly say that he means a ton to me. And I'm sure he's not going to want to talk to me for a minute, but I look forward to us reconnecting because he's really, it's a special relationship for me. So good win for our guys. Really happy for our team. Really happy for Joey. Really happy for Joey.
When we talked to Joey, he said that he made the point to guys that the sun was going to come up and that things are never as bad as maybe they seem in the moment. To go from where you were 48 hours ago to where you are right now, did you learn anything about this team's mental makeup to shake off a loss like that, and also Kyle being out and being shorthanded against a team like this team?
Yeah. I think, Adam, to be honest with you, I knew the matchup the other night was going to be a really hard one based on seeing them on film. And not that I didn't think this was going to be hard. I knew this one was going to be a hard one too. But, you look at like a team like Nebraska, you look at their numbers and the season and kind of what their record is, and it's just not indicative of their talent level or kind of how they were playing at the moment. So I think you have to look at that. I mean, no one did to Penn State what those guys did to Penn State on the road. And they've started to really play well, and they're talented. So I knew once Kyle went out, because it didn't allow us to be as switchable defensively as I would have liked to have been when they went small. I knew that was going to be a real challenge. So I think when I watched the film, I wasn't as alarmed. I was disappointed because I thought defensively we still have a long ways to go. I feel like that after tonight's second half as well. But I wasn't as alarmed maybe as people might have thought I would be. And I think with this game, I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel great about it. I'm happy for our guys, but I also know we have work to do to get better if we're going to, play well on Sunday.
Even given all that, this could have spun another way, and you're looking at a really bad stretch to end the season, especially like I said, being out Kyle. What did it take for your guys to take some of those lessons and take advantage of those matchups and find a way to ride Joey Brunk to a win?
I think some really it was an important film session for us yesterday. I didn't think we trusted the pass offensively at all. I didn't think we trusted each other defensively, and I didn't think we were connected defensively much of the game at all. And we weren't in a good frame of mind. But having said that, we were also playing a team that was playing really well. I just think we had to have some kind of internal conversations about things both we need to do better but I've not really doubted this group to respond this year. We haven't been in that position before where we've lost 2 in a row, and we've also are down 2 really important players. So I think it was, and a little bit to me, like, okay, how are we going to respond tonight? Because it's a difficult thing to be in.
Chris, you were talking about after the Nebraska game, the lack of offensive connectedness that you guys had. And I'm curious about what these past 48 hours were like in terms of watching that and kind of what led to kind of the offensive explosion you guys had.
A lot of film work where we just missed making the right pass, And it's not, I don't think it was because of selfishness. I think it was more a byproduct of guys really trying hard to win. But sometimes when you press and you really try hard to win and you force the issue, it doesn't end up working out. And I thought we had too many times we forced the issue really in the last 2 games, and we didn't trust each other enough. And we also did make some open shots. In the Maryland game, we did not make some open shots, and we missed, and we made some open shots here today.
And was there a sigh of relief from that 13-0 run to start? Did you see kind of like that offensive momentum?
No, you're never relieved in the first 4 minutes of the game. You know, I mean, it's nice to see us make some open shots, but I think that was good. But it's you know, you're never relaxing at that moment.
Did Joey surprise you tonight?
You know, I'm just so happy for the kid. I don't know that he surprised me with his ability to score because I've seen that for a couple years and I've seen it in practice. And the reality is we've had a little bit of depth there, so it's kind of forced him to the bench more than I would have liked, and I'm sure more than he would have liked. But it's an unbelievable testament to the kid. And when you think about it, he's had multiple DNPs, coach's decision. He's been as invested in our team as anybody on our team. I mean, he's just been invested as EJ Liddell, as Kyle Young, as our captains, fully invested. And I think it's a great sign of character. And I've said that about the kid, I've said it. He's got tremendous maturity, tremendous character. And I'm just really happy for this moment for him. The kid's had, when you lose a dad, and, we were right there with him, that changes you. And I'm really happy for him.
So when you get a guy from the portal who has his profile, you're competing with other people for him. You obviously had a relationship with him. And I would assume you paint a vision of what his role will be. And I'm assuming it's not been what you painted it as. How do you, if I'm right, how do you then, how does that make you feel as the season goes along,
It's
given
hard.
what you've had with him in the past?
Yeah, I didn't try to exaggerate what his role was going to be. It's a good question. I didn't try to exaggerate what his role was going to be, but I'm sure, he didn't necessarily know that there were times where he wouldn't play, So he's handled it with incredible maturity and he stayed ready. And I think there was probably a point in the season where he just said, "Hey, listen, I'm all in with the Buckeyes. This is my final year. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm all in." And he's been incredible on scout team. He's been on scout team now for 2/3 of the season. He and Jimmy both. I mean, he and Jimmy Sotos have been unbelievable on scout team. Like energized, compete. Coach, when do you need us there? It's a testament to Jimmy Sotos and Joey. Really is.
You talk about being so happy for him. I know you're in the middle of a Big Ten matchup, but when you hear the fans chanting Joey and every time he touches the ball, they're screaming. Could you feel that a little bit as a coach? Did that pick the team up?
Oh, I'm sure it did. Yeah, they loved it. His teammates loved it. You should have seen them in the locker room. I mean, they loved it. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what all that is. I still don't know. I don't know. I guess I got to ask now what it is, but they were all doing it, and they did it because Joey is doing it. So, when Zed dunks, he raises the roof, and now when Joey scores, he does this. So it must be a 5-man thing. But I don't know what it is, but they can keep doing it as long as he's playing like this. They were really happy for him, and so was I.
You talk so much about finding other scorers on this team, and you've said a lot this season you want Jamari to shoot.
Yeah.
Were you happy with what you saw today?
Yeah, he's just got to take the right ones, I just think he's so used to just playing off of others, and I'm going to have to remind him every game, because the last two teams really didn't guard him much, and he can't be out there if they can't guard him, or if they're not going to guard him, and they should guard him because he's a good shooter. So we can't play 5-on-4, we can't play 5-on-3 or 3-on-5. It's not going to lead to good offense.
Coach, tonight you had 20 points on 13 takeaways, and you only gave up 3 points off of your 10 mistakes. I know a lot of times games can swing when you're looking at those numbers.
Yeah.
How pleased were you with kind of the way you responded when you guys struggled and the way you made them pay for the mistakes?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job converting off turnovers. I thought we did a really good job converting off their turnovers. I thought we were really good in transition. And we know they're much different at home. Their pace is different at home. And their energy is different at home. But bottom line is I thought we did a good job with that. We did a good job for the most part taking care of the ball. and being really efficient offensively. My biggest complaint is I didn't like our second half defensive effort. That's my biggest frustration with tonight that we'll address in film tomorrow. But offensively, we were really good.
You guys got one more now. I was taking care of business against Michigan right now, and obviously they'll play Illinois this weekend. Given the injuries you guys have, I'm not sure if you guys know when Kyle or Zed will be back. How valuable, how important is it to, one win, but then on Sunday, but more importantly, get that double bye. So maybe it gives those two an extra day for at least one of those guys to get back.
Yeah, it's important for a lot of reasons, and you mentioned them there. And we'll probably talk about that. I don't want to overdo it because I want to focus on us, the things that I think are important that would put us in that position versus just the outcome. But certainly that there's some important stuff with that, with our injury situation. I don't know when those guys are going to be back right now. I really couldn't give you an update on when they're going to be back. So yeah, it's important. Yeah, it's important because it's obviously not the be all end all. I want to improve in the areas we need to improve in as we head to the postseason.
Chris, Joey's going to get the headlines tonight, but you got offensive contributions from a number of guys. Defense, first half at least, guys were making some plays. I think most people would have thought EJ Malaki had to carry you guys back to a win, but it was kind of across the board. Is that really what this team needs to be?
Yes. Yeah, it has to be that. I think in crunch time, we know where it's probably going to be in a couple guys' hands, but they have to make the right play in those situations and pass to the open man. But I think we just pressed too much offensively, the last two games, and we didn't trust the pass enough. We just didn't trust the pass enough, and we have to, and we need more balance.
And you mentioned Joey has kind of been behind other guys. Assuming these guys come back, what do you do with him now that he's had a game like this and shown what he can do?
What I'll say to you about this was also a good matchup for him. And Joey, and he knows this, he's got to continue to defend the post better. And the biggest thing for him, he's got his ball screen defense. But certainly he's earned the opportunity to, and we're going to need him here, certainly this next few games until those guys get back, or even if they get back. Even if they get back the next game.
Did you come into this because of the matchup? And Hunter just had a big game against them the other night. Did you come in thinking you could run stuff for Joey the way you guys started to, I guess, throughout the course of the game?
Yes.
And were you, I don't know if surprised is the right word. Like you gave him the ball. He did what you wanted. He handled that workload about as well as he could have.
He did. Yeah, Bill, we did come in thinking that he was going to be a guy we were actually going to run stuff for. Partly because we've seen it in practice. We've seen him score consistently in practice. So we did feel like he was capable of that. We just had to get him to his spots. Now, I think he was probably even better than I thought, but we did go in saying we need to utilize him.
And I guess I'm not asking you to speak for Tom necessarily, but I'm sure you've been in situations where a guy you probably didn't prepare for much just kind of went off on your team.
Yeah.
Like what is that like as a coach as you're trying to figure out, like, where did this guy come from? How do we stop him?
He knows him. I think I don't know how he would feel, whether he would say surprised or not. Joey played well against him when he was at Indiana and they played. I think he had maybe 14 and 6 one game against him. So I think Tom's aware of him. Tom's probably saying, I don't know what Holt's doing, not playing him. Like, what an idiot. That's probably what Tom's thinking. But I think probably, I don't know how surprised he was, but he might have been surprised how much we went to him.
We asked Coach Izzo about Jamari, and he kind of said, he hit 4 threes in the first half, and he said something like, if I had known that he hit 4 threes, I'd have bet my life against that or something. In the first half, are you drawing up shots for him? And in previous games, are you drawing those up, or are you just telling him, just be opportunistic? If it's there, if they sag back, just do it?
Yeah. We thought they were going to dig hard off of him in the post and do what other teams have done these last couple games. And really, a lot in league play. And we just have tried to show him on film, you're open. They have to pass to you. You've got to shoot it. It's that simple. You got to get up on the line. They have to pass to you. You have to shoot it. Now he took a couple in transition, maybe that were a little bit, surprising to me, but he was in a good rhythm. But yeah, I might have thought, hey, he's gonna make 4 threes in this game. I wouldn't have guessed in the first half either.
You were getting when you pulled him out of the portal, or is that something that you've kind of learned as the season's gone on?
Yeah, we did think he could be a good 3-point shooter. Yes, because he showed that his last year against us. We played there last year, and he made, I think, 3 or 4 in the game. He's got good touch. It's just a matter of his shot prep has to get there. So we did feel like that was an aspect. We thought, playmaking, he wasn't going to be able to maybe do some of the things that like us, CJ or Dwayne could do, but we felt like he was going to be able to catch and shoot and be a real threat. He's got to continue to do that.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, a non-conference game against Duke, you guys dominated from beginning to end, and taking down the #1 team in the country. But things has changed. Injuries. Big Ten Conference tournament is coming up. I know everybody's talking about Joey or whatnot. It's only one game, but what I saw tonight was something that it was incredible because obviously the fans speak for itself. But what some of the adjustment can you guys make? Because usually the bench players come up big, but I know you guys were outscored tonight 36-3. But the inside of the paint was incredible with Joey's presence. So what adjustment can you guys
with our
make?
bench play, you're saying?
Not just bench players, but some of the adjustment that can be made when it comes to the conference and then the Big Ten come.
I think it's that we have to trust the pass more offensively, and we've got to be positionally better defensively, and we have to finish and rebound the ball better. Those are really the things we're putting in front of our guys that we have to do better with. Those are the biggest things, and I think if we do that, we'll put ourselves in better position for sure. I think that was. Didn't we put that out there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was. I think Gary put it out, right? I didn't put it in just put it. Yeah. Do we have one more or no? No. Okay. All right. Okay, guys.